W2 will be opening in the fall of 2009, and it's really unlike anything in Canada. A place where downtown Eastside residents and residents from the whole city of Vancouver can come together in one space, have coffee, create art, do storytelling, see art, listen to conversations, and tell their own stories. A cross-media lab is a place that people can use television tools, radio tools, printing tools, their own voices, use different platforms for creative expression, and all of this will be housed at W2 in the downtown east side.
I do remember the Christmas windows. They were fascinating. The Woodward's food floor was in the basement, and it was large, and there were so many things that were my favorite. I did have a sweet tooth, and money was very tight. It was the store to go to in the community. I just never gave it much thought. I took it for granted as being a part of the community, and it was really missed when it closed down.
So every weekend I'd come downtown and we'd go shopping at Woodward's. It was one of those real department stores that sort of had everything in it. It was very exciting to go there as a child. The most important part really has to do with the inclusive space we're creating. So think of it as a form, architecture is social engineering. We're trying to make a statement about a more inclusive world where people who have less than can live with people who have more than. And so this is one building that incorporates all of us into one with a series of common spaces that we share. In terms of symbolic statements about Canada and about hope for humanity, that's really what the architecture is about. Woodward's is actually the largest mixed-use project in the history of Vancouver. The way we achieved it was really to say yes to everyone else who wanted to be on the site. SFU Center for Contemporary Arts is there. On top of SFU, the Portland Hotel Society is going to have 125 units of social housing for the SRO replacement. And below SFU is actually London Drugs facing into the atrium. So that's merely one of the 4 buildings on the site to give you an idea of the diversity. One of the more significant buildings on the site is the Heritage Building, which is the one fragment that we've saved of the original Woodward's building. And in that building, we're going to have, in the ground floor, part W2 is going to have a cafe facing the atrium. And then above that is going to be W2, and then above that, AIDS Vancouver. And then on top of that, on the very top of the Heritage Building, is going to be a daycare. So that's very exciting as well. So we're thrilled. It's sort of a symbol of rebirth with little kids playing below the W.
Our program will be bringing in dancers, filmmakers, composers, theater artists, visual artists. What we're really pleased about is the grassroots connections that W2 will bring in terms of organizations and individual artists, because I think for Woodward's to be a success, it is important that it connects well with the artists and residents in the community. In the Contemporary Arts Building, SFU will be running its own programming, and we'll have our own students in there, but it's very important for our students also to connect with the community and for the community to connect with us, and W2 I think is going to be the best way that we can work together.
W2 is going to really open up a lot of doors for people to access and to better their lives.
The kind of work that's going to come out of there, I think, is going to be groundbreaking, and it's going to be edgy, and it's going to be everything that the downtown east side is, because it's going to come from the people in the downtown east side.
As a volunteer community television producer, I've gotten to see how many people in this community are, first of all, creative and have stories to tell, have really interesting stories to tell.
I have a personal interest in seeing community access to art making facilities, community access to art space, and just the idea of having community access to, especially community access to technology.
It's a world of creativity, and I think it's a world of possibility as well, where art meets creative spirits. Most of the people who do not have a chance to take a part of that idea, and who think it's so isolating, you know, technology is cool itself, but it's not. I think it's so important in art that we can utilize technology as a creative input. And I think W2 serves the idea, especially in downtown East Side.
So to have an art center that actually is for us or includes us in it is just going to be great. I myself need performance space.
I want to create art because I believe that art truly saves lives, because it saved my life, and if it wasn't for art I wouldn't even be here today.
I'm a musician who's been playing down here in the downtown East Side for 3 decades probably, and I think this W2 project is one of the best things that's ever happened down here.
After all my research and visiting cultural centers across Canada, this is the most innovative center that I have seen. One key for me is that it actually engages the community and it brings the community into the whole process, which is a very different model than I've seen.
I think for me the most important thing about W2, after spending 2.5 years as a volunteer on the Woodward's community committee with the city and the architects, I think W2 is one of the most important parts of the Woodward's project because it's a legacy of creation.
The arts are really the soul of the community. Without culture, there's no real spiritual dimension to people's existence. And so I think the arts at Woodward's is really being represented by W2 and also SFU Center for Contemporary Arts. And I think together they are going to be a meaningful institutional presence for the community and going to make this place very special.
It's like a great social experiment, and to me it's one that has to succeed, and so that's what excites me, is the opportunity for this mix of people to all work together and produce something that you won't see, I think, in any other city in North America.
You know, we've got a pretty ambitious goal for a grassroots inner city art center. We've got a goal of raising $2.6 million in a little bit more than a year's time. So over the year of 2008-2009, we'll be doing events, bringing the public together, talking to our corporate and public funders, talking to residents all over the city of Vancouver about the history of Woodward's, the important role it has as a cultural heritage place, and not just looking at the past, but looking at the future. If we do W2 right, it's going to make the entire Woodward's project a success. And I think the Woodward's project, SFU, the retail, the towers, the market and social housing really needs W2, because W2 is the bridge between this project and the rest of the neighborhood.